My name is Kathrin Gerling, and together with my colleague Max Birk, we want to talk about our reflections on rigor and reproducibility, and we want to suggest moving toward a community standard for the description of artifacts in experimental games research. So in our community, we talk quite a bit about rigor, reproducibility, and in games research in particular, we've seen a few critical pieces in the last few years that focus on aspects like the use of theory or transparent and comprehensive data analyses. And all of that thinking is great, but since our work is about games and play, we've actually always felt like there's an elephant in the room that we are failing to address.
And that elephant is called game descriptions. If we want reproducible and rigorous work, we actually need to describe the games that we design and leverage in our work in a way that others can work with the descriptions. And this is particularly important when we are looking at custom-built research tools, because usually these are in no way anything you can download and play someone's game. If you have questions about it, there's no way of actually reaching out and figuring out how this actually has been designed. So we're not quite sure if you agree. So let's look at an example.
So Prairie Hunter invites players to set out on a virtual animal hunt. In order to increase their score, they have to hunt as many animals as possible. This is done by moving the crosshairs over the animal. Prairie Hunter uses pointing input where the player's hand controls an avatar within the game. The game was implemented in C# using Microsoft XNA Game Studio 4.0 and is played using the Microsoft Kinect. Our implementation invites players to use their strong hand to perform gestures and pointing actions to control the avatar. So, besides using a legacy development platform that you probably wouldn't be able to access anymore today, do you feel like you have enough information to fully grasp the game? What do you think, Max?
I really would not know what to do here.
And that's exactly the point that we're actually trying to make. And just to be clear, this is actually an excerpt from one of my own papers. So we're not here to point fingers. We're here to remind all of us, ourselves included, of the work that we need to do as a community. And before you ask, no, there was no video figure to go with that paper.
But luckily we are in research, right? So making progress on things and kind of developing our own directions is something we can do. So to deal with this issue, we'd like to invite you to join us in a conversation about pathways to a community standard for game descriptions, making sure that we all describe our research games in a way that others can fully understand and potentially even rebuild our games to reproduce empirical work.